Thank you for being here. You know what's funny? I have an uncle that literally every time I go live, his name comes up. Doesn't say shit. It's fucking hilarious. I'm good. I'm fucking good. Today's a day, dude. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about the Scorpio Moon and the energy associated with the day. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna flow through the weekend, sister, because this is gonna carry on. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things going on right now that we're not necessarily unaware of. You know, and when it comes to these things of being in the energy and understanding what's going on, as to why these things are happening in our lives, and kind of like the deductive process of just being able to see the mechanics at work, dude. How either your blessings come in, or how we have the ability to look at our misfortune or our mistakes or whatever that is, and kind of like logically rationalize with it instead of fucking being all emotional all over the place, because we're having to fight two things right now. We're having to fight our emotional sensitivity, our thoughts that's associated with our emotional sensitivity, right? Not realizing that these are things are happening. I mean, some people just go throughout the day fucking panic thinking all the fucking time, not realizing, hey, something's going on, right? But a lot of us don't take that time to do the reevaluation space of being like, hold on a second, why the fuck am I thinking so damn much? Okay? Why do I feel like a neurotic fucking person right now? Or some type of paranoia is associated with today somehow. And you realize that, wait a minute, hold on. If you stand back in your awareness, you realize that this is the speed of life that is being carried by everyone else, by the collective. You know what I'm saying? That intuitives don't realize the speed of consciousness, connection, or communication right now, because they're so sensitive, not realizing that there's a lot more things going on to this 3D reality that you call, or 4D reality in a sense, because now your sense perception has been activated at its full extent, is what I'm hearing. So you guys we really pushed through something, or we were pushed through something here. You know what I'm saying? This is extremely divinely led, and it's very powerful when we realize what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Inside of ourselves, the internal workings. When we actually look at what's going on inside of our heads, we realize that we are at the speed of thinking, right? But if we take a step back, because we have the awareness of the thoughts that we think, when we take a step back, we can observe all the thoughts that are passing us by that we're not allowing anymore. Think about it for a second. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Leave it in the comments, please. Give yourself a break to see what I'm talking about for a second. Because the speed of thought is way slower than the speed of your own awareness. Okay? And that's why you can hear it, because it's actually working slower and you're working faster. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you have the ability to hear it. Your vibration is here. Now you are the awareness of the lower vibration that is consistently circling your mind in one way or another. No, I'm not mentally fucking with anybody here. I'm dead ass serious. Take a look at it for a second and understand that you're in two planes, if not four, simultaneously, and now you can pay attention to it. I'll give you a minute. Because it's really intense shit. This is activations, fam. We don't understand what's happening. Every time there's polar alignments, there's astrological placements, activations from the sun, okay? Because every time that we receive a coronal mass ejection, it comes up on the radio waves, okay? All of consciousness is activated at that point because it's all connected, right? So you have all this massive solar energy that everybody's talking about, but nobody's talking about. Because how it affects the physical human being goes beyond our ability to perceive it, like our perception of it. Like, we don't realize that we are receiving blessed energy, divine energy, awakening, enlightenment, empowerment, awareness, clarity, purification, right? In other words, you can't stand your own bullshit and you don't like to fucking feel that way, so you need to get rid of it, but you don't know how to get rid of it because you're too busy stewing in it. Boom. You know what I'm saying? We don't realize the fucking mind game. Yes, self-harm, self-defecation of any form is ego. You would, as a divine being, as the divine self, you would never cause harm to another or yourself, ever, including talking shit to yourself. I'm dead ass honest. That's the way it has to be. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we're going to sit here and be doubtful or being insecure about our lives in one way or another, thinking that everything is okay when it's fucking not, then what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing? Why are we lying to ourselves in the first place when we're already hearing the fucking lies in our head? You know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking facts, fam. You know, because it makes sense to me now. You know, and I love to share my experiences. Not only do I get to share my experiences, but I share our experiences as one, as the divine self, as spirit in form, spirit in body. You know, a lot of people think that we're fucking joking when we say these things. It's not a joke. And a lot of people are now becoming aware something is matter. Something's up. Something has formed. Something has changed. Inside of myself, give me the ability to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Deep introspection is necessary at this time, is what I hear. Because a lot of you are fucking going crazy for no reason and you don't know why. And you think that the old ways of doing things to ground yourself and practice those things is not working anymore because you're missing a piece of yourself now. We've gone deeper, where people have decided that they want to maintain and just become that. You know what I'm saying? We're at a level of change, which is ever constant, ever living, ever loving, and ever giving, right? And when we have the ability to release these things that don't serve us, our emotions that literally punish us or keep us in a stagnant place or have us in spite or judgment or trying to kill ourselves in one way or another, is all bullshit. But the only thing that tells you that truth besides myself and us, we are, you know what I'm saying? The connected ones. We realize that this is all part of a giant, a more profound orchestration that is happening within ourselves. We are receiving now understanding of the divine self and the mechanics that is also associated with it, right? You all have gifts for a reason. What do you think? That you were just going to be here for being a healer for the rest of your life and not stepping into your path or your place, or you could just label or certify yourself and that's it, you've done it? Or you've accomplished your land or gathering where you don't have to deal with anybody's bullshit and you think that you've settled and you are in a constant there, right? A lot of us have upgraded to the point where a lot of these things don't even fucking feel right anymore. Like something's different. Something has to change. I feel empty inside. I feel like I deserve more is one that literally comes through at the same time. You know, there's just these things awakening inside of us right now, and the Scorpio Moon is bringing fire to that. It's also bringing fire to your emotions, clarification of your emotions. Clarifications that you are not the emotions, you are the sense of the emotions. You are the emotion, you are the energy in motion, and you are sensing that energy in motion, and it is speaking to you, causing you to think things that you don't necessarily like. Not realizing that it's your internal malfunction that is radiating inside of your brain, letting you know, hey, dude, we're spinning wheels here. What are we doing? This feels like shit. You know, me and Stella were talking about this shit yesterday. It's like, dude, you don't realize that when you feel something outside of yourself, there's something inside of yourself that is causing that. That lets you know what it is, but are you going to sit there and you're going to take it seriously? You know, knowing that it came from the outside in versus the inside out. You know, and this is how we take things personally, believe it or not, you know, because our intuition doesn't know the difference because we haven't trained it. We haven't flexed the muscle. We haven't practiced. We haven't opened up our chakras. We haven't opened up our flowers, you know, and exercising whatever adventure we go on from opening up these flowers and not being afraid to do so. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of you healers out there don't even realize these things are happening because you've settled somehow. And here's what's funny, dude. I got the cards in my hand and it kind of gives me goosebumps talking about it. And I'm going to share it with all you beautiful people here. Every card that came out here represents everyone on a journey. The collective pathways that you are all on are taking you directly to the divine creator in one way or another, right? And we're going through this huge transformation and this transition through higher planes, higher energies, and inconsistencies in our lives that don't matter, that need to go. Coming to terms with ourselves, being more brave and understanding that we're in more of an abundant aspect of our lives where we can make things happen versus the deductive process of the survival instincts and the poverty constructs that we've all suffered from in one way or another. You know, I'm broke. Nah, when I'll have money for that later. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? The little song and dance that your ego likes to fucking tell you to keep you from doing the shit that you want to do. Okay? But it's also important to understand that even though the enemy can be perceived as the ego is not your enemy. It's your perspective of the ego that is the enemy. So you can't demonize anything in a sense. Hate only teaches you more of it until you start loving what the fuck you do, including other people, judgments, spite. You know, I don't like that shit. You know, you're causing that in that moment to make yourself feel that way because of your perception. Now, this is where coherence comes in. You realize that there is a malfunction and a distance between your head and heart space, and they're supposed to be aligned. They're supposed to be as one. So now the separation becomes more clear of the separation of the real divine self versus the ego self and the identity. Right? That's why you hear the shit in your head that doesn't like you. You know? Because in some way or another, you haven't realized that you actually love you. And you've disconnected from that and put many layers in front of your flower that hinders you from seeing that very self-love that is you. Everybody wants it outside of themselves. You know, everybody wants that profound relationship or that profound connection or that profound emotion of bliss and joy and happiness and balance and alignment and harmony, not realizing that it requires a complete change of your vision and how you see things. I think Stell told me it was the most profound, and this is why Spirit is bringing it up. In order for you to become what you're meant to be, you have to release the identity, right? The old way of doing anything. And it's okay to be uncomfortable because now you have to do shit different. You are being challenged to rise into your higher self. And a lot of us are actually seeing how we're afraid we are. Not only of ourselves, but the things that we think influence us around us, when in reality, we're the ones who actually accept it. And we should understand these things for what they are because nobody's teaching it. You know, no better way to make an informed decision than to be a conscious one, is what Spirit just said. Why not? What is there to lose? An old identity that keeps you in the fucking same stuck shit that you were in the fucking first place? It just feels, it's different, but it feels the same. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't it feel like you're carrying some fucking weight on your arm right now? Like there's a bag that you need to drop, that you realize that you've been dropping, but now it's to the point where it's hanging off your shoulder and you have to make a choice of whether you want it to fall off and feel uncomfortable and enjoy and embrace whatever and embody whatever is meant for you after you drop that fucking bag. You are the one who has a choice. We're not trying to influence you any other way, but to inform you is of the highest regard for human beings, period. Give them information that sets them free. Because a lot of these things weren't even meant for us in the first place, but here we are, fuck it, all right? Now we can get it back. Now we can empower ourselves. Now we can become more self-aware. Now we can align ourselves. Now we understand that the spiritual self is more important than the bullshit reality that we're fucking living right now that we only have to maintain because we've already done it over and over and over again while we figure ourselves the fuck out. And then we embrace the higher self and the higher calling that is meant for us because the Creator is making it. Come on. Your denial to anything in this message is the very thing that is going to set you free when you're willing to face it. Much love, fam. Excuse me. They're not done yet. See, embracing the Holland calling is definitely uncomfortable, but it's not something that we can't get used to, because when you realize that you're actually the awareness of your emotions, what the fuck are you allowing yourself to feel? And what type of self-control do you have over it? Some people don't even realize that they actually could do that. Wait a minute, what? Yeah, believe it or not, and it's been within you the whole time. You just forgot about it. And now here we are in the remembering, where a lot of people are freaking out and, you know, not knowing what to do, in a sense of being intuitive and sensitive, and all these awakenings that are happening right now. You know, it's perfectly understandable. But you're being blessed by the divine. You're being blessed by God. You're being blessed by the universe, the creator right now. If you're feeling it, you're feeling it. Accept it and stop looking at it like it's going to fucking bite you. You know, because it's not. The only thing that you're afraid of is the bite itself, because you've been bitten. But all that washes away when you accept the fact that you've been bitten, that you've been wounded. But you've also been blessed, because you wouldn't be listening to this right now if you weren't. Only to convince you to see the truth within yourself. Understand that. This is a higher calling. It's not meant for everybody else, but also at the same time, it's there for their fucking wonder, should they choose to embrace a higher calling. Because yes, you can wake yourself up too, is what I'm being told. Should you be willing to change the path that you are on because it doesn't serve you any longer, here we are. The steps that it takes to maintain the higher calling, the higher self, is of the utmost stature and requires respect and responsibility. Because we deserve that as people. We've been so fucking whitewashed that we have this slave mentality and this poverty mentality that we can't get over all the fucking time. True or not true? You know, to embrace the calling requires a commitment and a discipline to purposely open yourself up to the very things that you are afraid of about yourself, that make you insecure, that create the self-doubt in the first place, that it takes you on the whimsical whims of the mind that put you in the same place that you were before, only at a later time. And so I can almost see somebody, it's like, why can't I just fucking stop this fucking circus, bro? Well, yeah, first you give it permission to do so by facing yourself and actually saying it to yourself with your soul, digging into yourself and actually making a declaration instead of making farts in the wind like everybody else, not knowing that they're actually manifesting their own disdain and demise because they think or speak it into existence, or they accept the thoughts of others that speak or think it into existence. Oof. If you know, you know. And that's the law of correspondence, fam. That's what it teaches us. This is physics. This is responsibility, understanding frequency, vibration, how we match those things, how the universe matches us right here, breathing, listening to this shit. You know what I'm saying? All the time. And when you start breathing that in, get ready for the changes. Okay? Because now you've accepted the path for yourself. You've accepted yourself. And it almost seems like a lot of people, you know, become war buddies, like they got their ass kicked 10 million times, you know, healing and being on this journey and wondering when the fuck they're going to get off this ride, not realizing that it's like, give yourself permission to do so. You've been doing it so long that you have no idea that you just want to do it over and over and over again, because it's already been programmed in your in your mind as a habit. And that's what's happening now. Those who are paying attention or think that they're going crazy are actually listening to the spinning wheels now inside of their minds that are not them, and that's what they're being shown, is what Spirit's saying. This is part of that, your intuitive awareness. This is part of your clarity. This is part of your astrology. This is part of your major malfunction, is what Spirit is saying. You know, it's like you're short-circuiting in the brain because you keep on thinking that everything that's making circles in it is yours, and it's not. You're observing the circles that you've created for yourself over time because you've healed those things, and now they're waiting for you to release them. Leave it in the comments. If you know, you know. If it doesn't make sense to you, ask. We'd be more than happy to explain it to you. Anyone? What's up, Em? Welcome in. Everybody okay after that one? I'm back. Hey, you're welcome, Christy. I'm glad it does make sense. You know, I'm glad we can put it in a way where it does make sense, because these things are really important, dude. Like when you channel these things, when you feel these things, you understand that there's a sense of urgency for your higher calling, for people that literally have done nothing but wish for that. Because it's also associated with your future. It's associated with balance. It's associated with the harmony that you actually learn to create for yourself, because now you're willing to do so. You know, this is the purpose of Soul Council. This is why we do this. We come counsel. Because what's the best way? Instead of trying to figure it out all the fucking time by yourself, embrace the fact that the divine is here to assist you always and is with you, right? And if you have a hard time figuring something out, this is what this space is all about. This is what Soul Council is. You know what I'm saying? To get you to see the truth in a way that it's palatable to you, so that way it doesn't throw you off the fucking deep end. Because now you're overreacting for whatever reason that, no, see, this is a more conscious way of navigating emotional instability while we're trying to figure shit the fuck out. Okay? Because our nervous systems are really important. And let me tell you why. Because you're no different than a fucking plant, okay? And everybody knows that you have to treat a plant with great care in order for it to grow. It has been scientifically proven that when you feed it what it needs, it grows. When you give it love, it grows even more, right? So you have to turn around when you realize that you're no different from that fucking plant, because your nervous system is just like the roots of any other fucking living thing on this planet. Okay? And you embrace that vibration within yourself, you realize, okay, maybe I am a little fucking rigid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you embrace that respect of the fact that spirit is you, because the very roots that are spirit are also inside of you, that is creating this fucking universe for you to experience. You know, without taking people off the fucking deep end, because it is the truth, but sooner or later you're going to get there and you're going to see the stars for what they are, because they're also you. And that's why they're so pretty to you, because you love yourself unconditionally. It's a reflection of who you are, divinely true. And when you just sit with that, it humbles you. And then the spinning wheel goes away. Where did it go? I don't fucking hear it anymore. And now that I have your undivided attention, is what I'm hearing, it's all important for us to become one. Unity, not separation. Harmony, not imbalances. Resonance, coherence, agreement within yourself to commit to that higher call. We act as one. We are all one. Everything is now. It's not bullshit. You are experiencing it, and it may be a little fucking weird, but it's okay. You're not wrong. You know? We have been mistaken. We have been enslaved. We have been untruthed to the layers that we have been untruthed, only to see now, with the higher calling, the higher energies, the higher cosmology of everything coming in, it's waking up our DNA and our cells, and it's really calling for introspection, self-introspection. Not that you gotta fucking sit there and be there inside of yourself for 24 hours is what I'm saying here. It's not that serious, but embracing the love and the harmony that is associated with the willingness to do so. Does that make sense? What's up, little bit? What you doing, lady? Put it in the comments if you guys have something to say. If this resonates with you or you have questions, by all means, please do. Spirit is calling you. You know, we're encouraging people to embrace their spirituality as the life that it is meant to be, because spirituality is just a basic description to get you into your higher calling. And then you realize it's so much more than what we've been led it to be. You know what I'm saying? It helps us recognize how important we are as individual beings and how special we are and unique, not compared to, judged, or having an opinion of. We deserve that higher respect. And this is why a lot of you are being entrained right now, not realizing that this is an action. This is a lesson. This is also a realization, should you accept it. Instead of getting mad at yourself because you keep on being a dick to yourself somehow, or somebody's being a dick to you. It happens. It does happen. But the more humble you become with your reactions about getting mad at yourself or getting upset about the situation, the more it humbles you. And you don't respond or react to the ways that you've been reacting to the things that you have in the past. And that's getting out of survival. Yeah, you can feel it. You can feel how much you miss it. Should you allow yourself to, if you open up to it, you could feel how much you miss that. And it speaks to you. It doesn't necessarily have fucking words. It could be words to you. You know, it could be visions. You know, it could be truth. Just by simply enacting a different behavior that helps you engage in a more comfortable way of walking in the uncomfortable in the fucking first place, because this place is fucking chaos. But heaven is within, right? And if heaven is within, then it becomes heaven without. And this is how we embrace our higher calling, fam. You know? We just gotta understand that we don't have to change anything. We have to change everything, right? Because now our old perspective of self only breeds more survival instincts, survival skills being played over and over and over again when you're supposed to learn the new kung fu. You know, divine discipline is what I hear. Oh, it's going, man. We're on fire. Oh, we're on something else today. We're on cloud fucking 50. Dead ass. I love this. This is great. I cannot wait to fucking repost this. I cannot. Because if you don't feel something, you're numb. I'm just saying. How are you, sir? Stop. Oh, I am doing readings today, fam. If you want divine guidance reading, you know, soul counsel, I'm doing them for $25 today. The link is in the bio if you want a reading. I'd be more than happy to give you a reading today, especially with this beautiful, wonderful connection that we all have here and communication to embrace our higher calling, because that's what's happening right now. A lot of us are feeling it and we don't know why, or we want to know why, but we don't necessarily can step to the plate to actually know why without knowing how to step to it first. And then here we are, the purpose of Soul Counsel, and today's message, today's reading is associated with your path and your higher calling. That is coming to you, that is letting you know in subtle, if not irritable ways, that it is looking for an answer. If you do decide to donate to get a reading today, it is just $25. The link is in the bio. Just type down in how you donated in the chat. I'd be more than happy to do a reading for you today. I know somebody wants one out there, because you're not getting it from me. You're getting it from them, which is the higher calling that you all have been asking for. Or how? You don't know how you are? Well, I got a couple choice words for you, Mr. Burke, but I won't say them because we have to stop running. We have to stop running from the truth. And when we actually stop running, we allow it to hit us. Because now we're looking for it. And then you can answer how you really are. That's discernment. So even if you don't know how to explain, the energy remains the same. All I hear is stop running, Mr. Burke. You're running around inside your mind. Need to sit down. You're very fortunate that Spirit loves you and respects you so much, man. You know? And I have to give that to you, dude. That Spirit loves you so much, you know, that they transmit these messages to you on a constant and you still don't believe it. Trying to figure it all out when it's right there in your face. I don't know, man. God works in very mysterious ways, sir. Some of us can slow life down just enough to be able to start seeing them. I don't know what I did to deserve that. Well, see, that's the problem. Are you willing to find out, or are you going to sit there and question it? You got some really cool lineage in there, man. In that line, dude. You just gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta let go of the hate, man. There's a hate on top of you that has nothing but grown over time, man. Because it's just, I see it in your chakra, especially in the throat space. You know, when I'm seeing people, when I see their chakras or their energy systems, I start to sense them and I start to see them, right? And then I start to see all this hate and this anger and this fury that has built up over fucking time, that has become like a fucking growth on the back of your neck. You know what I'm saying? And then we wonder where tension and heaviness comes from, not realizing that we have created an energetic bubble from not expressing ourselves, letting things out, actually doing the things that we want to do, not literally trying to make everybody feel better and shit on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know how to take care of ourselves. We get our joy from taking care of other people, not realizing that the dopamine that we're looking for has great success in others. So why is it that we can't do it for ourselves? You know what I'm saying? Why is it that we can't find great joy in the fact that we have the ability to give something to other people? And then we stop questioning, oh, why do I deserve this? You know what I'm saying? That's real talk, bro. You know, you need to find new friends. We're here. You know, and then when you realize that you have something that you are sensing on the back of your neck that we are speaking of, then you realize how much energetically it's affecting you right by holding on to it and not understanding it and not ready to take that next step. You know what I'm saying? Into the unknown and the uncomfortable, because you've been too busy making yourself comfortable. Anybody else want a reading? I'm serious. Yes, of course you do. Of course you do, sir. Of course. And we're still waiting. We're waiting for you. One day we'll talk again. I already told Sis 10 million times, I was like, he just needs to come talk to me. He'll be all right. And I've been waiting. this whole time because I know it's going to happen. It's bound to happen, sir. Okay? I trust in the divine, and the divine is myself. So here we go. What you need is on the other side of your own bullshit. You know, so sometimes we just got to be straight because it's the only way to fucking get through. And that's how we realize we pick up on these things. That's how we feel things. That's how we confirm things. That's how the body works. See? So not am I pointing out whatever missiles, you know, need to get fired the fuck off in your life, dude. I'm pointing out the fact that it's actually harming you by holding on to it, bro. How special is that? Isn't that cool? You actually learn something about yourself. You're like, oh shit, really? That's how it works? Oh, you'd like a reading, Rhonda? I'll be more than happy to give it to you. What? I mean, literally, I have... If my link isn't working in the bio, please let me know. And just like that, it's gone. Much love to you, brother, man. Can't wait to see you. I'm looking forward to it, bro. All right, Rhonda, let me clear the energy real quick because that got deep. Took me to places I don't normally go because I don't have to. But sometimes we got to dive into the shadows to see the truth. We just got to understand. We got to not know how not to be afraid when we do it. And it takes a guide, you know, because some of the shit that we go through on shamanic journeys, you know, some of this shit's really deep, dude. It's really dark and it's fucking some heavy shit that we fucking don't realize that we're fucking carrying or we're going through, you know? So you gotta be well disciplined in the work because you could lose yourself. We have those shamanic journeys available on our website, by the way, if you're interested in doing ones. You know, for those of you who are thinking that you have to do some type of shadow work. It's not really shadow work, honestly. You're enlightening things. You're shedding light on darkness, you know, and sometimes it's painful. And, you know, it's a little bit of a process and we might be concerned of what we may go through. And I can tell you that you have the utmost guidance, respect, love, and protected space when these journeys actually happen to help people go dive into the trenches, you know, because normally we feel uncomfortable about these things in one way or another. You know, we're scared to do these things. We don't know what it's like to be comfortably uncomfortable because it's in the uncomfortable that creates the most growth. And we don't know how that, we don't see it as a blessing. We see it as a curse. And then we need to remove that identity that automatically goes there first. Does that make sense? And that's what we do with shamanic work. We go deep. All right, Rhonda, let's see what we got going on.
What are you doing? The music's already playing.
Oh, it is playing? I just can't hear it.
You just have to turn it up.
I don't think so. Whoa. Now it's playing. Kind of change the energy up real quick. Rhonda, when was the last time I did a reading for you? Holy shit. What's up, Joe? How are you, sir? I love your crosses that you're making. I think they're cool. I have one of those tactical fucking rosaries, dude. I think they're cool as shit.
Boho rosaries is what they're called.
Mm-hmm. All right, one of the first things I hear before I even pull the card is out the gate, dude, and I see a fucking running horse at a fucking rodeo. All All right. They also show me like barrel racing to give the, to give it effect or intensity of understanding how these making moves in your lives is really important, because the energetic response or the universal reaction into your higher calling, again, after everything that you've heard, is going to propel you into some really, really crazy places rather quickly, should you be willing to do so, right? But it's for your highest growth. Because I hear in the background, it's like, I want to get up off my ass, when it comes to these things, because I'm kind of like tired of, this doesn't work anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I heard. It doesn't work anymore. Okay, all right. So we're moving, and you are reevaluating that. You know what I'm saying? You're taking it. You see it. You can see it, and it's almost like you just don't know what to fucking do with it. You know what I'm saying? You realize that without a choice, there is no change, right? Otherwise, it just keeps on happening again, is what Spirit is saying. So it's like the fun part of the realization and the truth, dude, is because now those answers are actually coming to you and you're seeing them, right? So in essence, in one way or another, you've been asking for it. You feel me? You wanted to know the truth. You seek the truth. You speak the truth. Now you honor the truth is what, in other words, you have to live it, sister. I don't know what you've done, but you did something. You did something, man. It's almost like you're like, I'm done. I've had enough. This is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I've seen enough to the point where I realize that there's something more in my life that is significant, and it's not where I'm at right now. Is the best way that I could say that. You know what I'm saying? And like, here it is. The Hierophant. Excuse me, I'm shaking from channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've seen it for what it is because you've slowed it down long enough to fucking be like, all right, I'm done. Boom. Hey, congratulate yourself, bro. Not a lot of people have the bravery to fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? Haha. I can't make this shit up, sis. This is strength in that decision is what I'm hearing. You know what I'm saying? To answer the higher calling. Understanding that balance, peace is your birthright. Okay? Harmony, truth, clarity, honor, respect, loving oneself, dude. Not fucking not being a shitbag is what I hear. 10 of Pentacles. That's fulfillment by honoring this path, this truth, this decision that you've already done. You know what I'm saying? Because enough is what I hear. And when you honor the enough, then you start focusing on the truth that is keeping you from being enough and having enough and knowing enough to where you're entrusted on the path through the cycles that you've been born into. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting family woo-woo is what I'm hearing in that space. I'll probably pull some more on that. I just wanted family woo-woo. What are we talking about here? The generational fucking shit, bro. The generational issues, the knowledge, the truth, the sacred self, how you're holding on to this string of things that you've realized emotionally, not realizing that you're kind of like dragging this tail, sis. And it's almost pulling you backwards at times because it's yanking on you like this, and you're going to have to literally take it away, and this is a responsible decision is what Spirit is saying, with the Two of Pentacles being out here, is because this is punishment. You know what I'm saying? This is like standing in your own fire and allowing it to burn you when you're the one who made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, hold on, what the fuck? It's not burning me. You know what I'm saying? This is setting me free. This is giving me clarity. Thank you. This is because people haven't been nice to you, bro. You know that, right? That you've taken that shit on, that you have to be a certain way because iron sharpens iron, and this is the way it goes. And we don't realize that we've settled into that thinking. And now when we have that emotional push or the pull and the Scorpio moon that is pulling on everything, it forces you to make a decision on whether you're going to continue to get pulled back that way when something's pulling you this way. Yeah. So, when it comes to that space, and that's about as deep as the message can go, to be honest with you, sister, is like the profound decision is a profound step. But I also hear profound education. It's like realizing that these things have emotional struggle and weight to them. ties to that tie to birth patterns wounds. Yes, exactly, because there's a slew of them, but there's a string, right? And the way that they show it to me, and this is funny because this got stuck in here, and I'm gonna show you that one. Um, the way that they showed it to me is that you've actually cut ties with a great many things, but you haven't fully moved on from them yet because you keep thinking that they're real. Does that make sense? You know? And the higher calling is going to show you that everything that you need to know, this is going to take some, let me see. A journey would help you greatly. A journey would definitely help you greatly because, you know, you can remove those things from yourself. You realize that you're just holding on to them because they have some emotional weight. And you carry emotional weight with you. Now the realization of carrying the emotional weight with you is the intention of the releasing, letting it go. But you have to engage in it. Realize that we all make choices, right? And then, you know, you're like, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to go, you don't know how to be, you know what I'm saying? But your bags are packed, and well, are you gonna take that next step, or are you gonna sit there and you're gonna think about it? You know what I'm saying? You already know the truth, now it's experiencing it. This is how it goes for you, lady. You know what I'm saying? This is how it goes for you. You know, hey, 10 of Wands, you can't make this shit up. Okay? This is you right here. You know? But it requires realization, revelation, meditation, right? And a journey does all those things. You can also, look, we're not trying to convince you anything other except for the fact that you need guidance, and we are more than happy to give you that guidance and provide you the service of that guidance through with access to the divine, so that way you can evolve yourself and you can make yourself whole again. You know what I'm saying? This is why we do this. I just want you to understand that. See? Bro, I can't make the shit up, sis. Look. Fire. Fire invocation. It's fucking ridiculous because this is the one that fell to the ground on another from another deck that was over here to the side. You can't, bro. I love the divine and how it works. I just really do, dude. Because you understand that there's no such thing as coincidences, and in that very understanding, there's magic, and it teaches you about divine orchestration. Lady, I don't even know what tarot deck I'm using, to be honest with you. I can't remember at the moment. I just got them yesterday. Hold on one second. This one says Grimoire of Shadows. It looks like this. I found it on Amazon. I actually love the colors. And then this one right here is the Luminous Arcana Tarot deck, which I also got on Amazon. I like them because of the colors. I mean, this shit is dope. I'm not gonna lie. You know? It's got a vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily resonate with cards, but colors, yeah. You know? Yeah, right? It's cool. If anybody else would like a reading, please do. I know, okay, somebody donated, which was Rhonda. I'm not sure if somebody else had donated, and I didn't see it in the chat, but if you did donate, or you'd like to get a reading and donate, the link is in the bio, fam. Yeah. It's like I said, it's got a vibe to it, dude. You know, and if it doesn't have a vibe to it, I don't want it. But it's kind of like the way that I learned that my soul is speaking to me, that I'm not separate from it. What's up, Mandy? How are you? We need to go to the guy to Lily and Man, but she has amazing all of that to choose from. No, man, I'm just picking up a couple cards, bro. You know, I do enjoy, you know, I used to work with my hands I used to be a mechanic for 22 years, so I do enjoy working with my hands. So, you know, this is kind of like giving the kid his bottle back. They're not wrenches or screwdrivers or ratchets or heavy equipment or machinery, you know what I'm saying? They're just a beautiful deck of colorful cards that I fucking resonate with, you know? Well, I mean, me and my wife, you know, we have similar vibrations, so I said similar. They are unique to themselves. But you know, we like to come on here, especially on the weekends, because that's when people can pay the most attention. To be honest with you, you know, yeah, it's like the heaven and the earth, the teaching of the cosmos. You know, two peas in a pod, man. Well, thank you for being here. I am doing. I don't know if you heard. I'm doing readings for just $25. The link is in the bio, dude. If you want to, the messages are powerful right now, fam. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that in the utmost highest way, the divine self way. You know, realizing what those things are for yourself, or getting past any humps that you may be having right now. You know, this is like a mini soul council message with cards, fam. You know, I have those services on our website. You're more than welcome to engage in that space if you want, like kind of like the one-on-one, you know, or we can do some of it right here and kind of take you to the next step, or what it is that you're unsure about, or what it is that's happening right now that might be important to you that you may or may not see. Oh, well, thank you. That's all right, dude. Sometimes those things, when we have to understand that when we intend those things, we have to follow through on that intention and be paying attention to the fact that it's manifesting, because that's part of understanding how we manifest things, but also embracing the higher part of you or aspect of you. Higher self is what a lot of people say, but your divine connection to everything as well, you know. And they come out here in the cards, they come out in our sessions, they come out in our mentorship, they come out in our certification space. You know, we have created a very great many things over time to help people engage in that path in a more conscious way, instead of fumble fucking everything and believing everything everybody else says, and learning how to believe in yourself. You know, it's all intuition is what Spirit is saying. What did you say?
Spiritual identity.
Yeah, the spiritual identity and the grand uncovering of that shit, you know? The identity we created over the very thing that we are. The truth. You know, I'm not one to dump an opportunity, man, to be honest with you, but I am very personable about my own space. And I honor that space, and I keep it of the utmost value. So with no, you know, no disrespect, I just want you to understand that I can, you know, where I can't be in the same space with certain people. Let's just put it that way. And it's become very obvious to me now. As a matter of fact, today with the Scorpio Moon was the pinnacle of that decision that I have made for myself. You know, not that you know, it's just these things that we understand about ourselves as sacred beings, sacred sovereign beings, that we don't necessarily, they're things that we just don't do because it's part of the way that we live and the way that we understand and are part of our path. Not that we disrespect anyone or mean any disrespect, but when you answer your higher calling and you embrace the divine self, you are held to a certain account and a certain accord, which means you walk a very fine line because it's meant that way. So I don't fuck around. Did I miss anybody wanting to read? Just making sure before I get up out of here. I want to make sure everybody's taken care of in one way or another, you know, before I go. Make sure that if it wasn't paying attention, I am now paying attention. There. See? We have to be mindful of our words and how this shit works, fam. I'm telling you, it's magic. Want to learn it? Nobody? I'm just making sure. Well, if you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask me any questions that you have. I just want to also tell you, it would be kind of you if you could and let the people that you know that resonate with these type of messages, share these things with them, and subscribe to my YouTube page, please, at Four Corners Healing 37. So that way I can actually go live on YouTube, because this is kind of like a transition space for me. You know, I want to build up the YouTube page, and I want to focus more of my effort on YouTube and stuff like that. And I would really appreciate the support for everybody that's following me here, because the majority of my content will now be on YouTube, but the majority of these channeled messages and collective messages and lives will also be on YouTube as well. You know, I will be sharing content here, but to be honest with you, I would really appreciate it if you guys follow me on YouTube. I only need 7 more subscribers to actually go to start going live there, and that is something that I'm really trying to manifest right now, because I really want the YouTube page to take off the way it's meant to, and I want to devote a lot of time and energy. And I would really appreciate if you all give me a follow, subscribe to it, and continue to watch the content that we create for you people, you beautiful people out there. So with that being said, yeah, no, it's the different page. Well, it's my expression of Four Corners, basically. Well, no, the divine's expression of Four Corners Healing 37. I mean, it's all channel messages. It's all come from the same place. You guys know that. You know, it's kind of hard to explain, because I can't really identify myself as one or the other. You understand? You know, because we do this together. That's what we are, unity. You know, and harmony, to the best of our ability. So with that being said, much love to each and every one of you. Have a beautiful and blessed day, fam. And remember, this vibe is going to carry out all the way to the night side until Monday. So, you know, if you have something to settle it, would be the advice, you know, but you can do whatever you want to do and what feels called to you.